Why specifically that year, though?
Just because, I mean, like, the Warriors weren't even all that great.
What?
The Warriors weren't all that great.
The 2017 Warriors were not good.
No.
I don't believe you.
Bro, they weren't.
How good were they?
They were ass.
Well, how ass?
They were so overrated.
I feel like you're just messing with me right now.
No, they're overrated.
The 2017 Warriors.
The 2017 Warriors.
God damn it. I was looking at Popeyes and shit.
When it was Steph and KD and
Yeah. That's exactly what you're doing.
And Clay.
Literally the greatest NBA team of all time.
Bro, they were overrated.
All right, that's enough. Enough slander for today.
We
haven't even
overrated.
started.
Tell me that they're a good team.
No, I'm not going to fight with you over this.
Tell me that they're a good team.
There's obviously no change in your mind.
No, they were an ass team.
Yeah, 67 wins.
Oh, then it was the 2016 Warriors, right?
Well, no, the 2018.
The 2018 Warriors.
Yeah, you see, you don't even know which ones that you're talking about.
I was a year off.
Anyways.
It was 18.
Go on.
They were buns, bro. Like all their wins were like butt clenching wins.
I'm not listening to a single word you're saying, by the way.
I'm not speaking.
Yeah, I know. Thank God. Yeah, they just swept the fucking Cavs. No big deal.
Okay, but that Cavs team didn't even have anyone.
Okay. If you're gonna do this, start the pod at least.
I'm just saying, like they weren't even all that great. They didn't even have like a good opponent.
Start the pod then.
They swept them because they didn't have a good opponent.
Just start the pod, please.
But they didn't have a good opponent.
Just start the pod. Ready? You're so annoyed.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, dude. I'm just saying, dude. You might as well put this in the pod.
I'm just saying, like, they weren't a good team.
I'm going to cue the intro in 3, 2, what?
Live from the Blitzkrieg Studio.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of the Sideline Podcast, episode 17. It is Monday, June 9th at 11:07 p.m. Jesus. This is actually our second ever late night episode. So
Second?
Oh, yeah. We did one when we first moved into the studio.
Yeah. I remember now. It's all starting to click.
It's all starting to click. I think that was episode 10. That one was the one that went over 2 hours.
That's when we were just fighting.
Well, we were also drinking that night. We were drinking and we were fighting over if KD was overrated or not.
We're not going to do that again. There's a lot of things that we're not going to do right now. That's one of them. What? No, nothing. I'm just saying. You look like you just came back from a funeral, I must say.
Well, I actually just got out of work. So,
it's never good to look like that, by the way.
Yeah, my work attire is
regardless of work or whatever excuse you have.
Dude, I look the same when I go to a funeral and at work. Like,
maybe because
it's a black button down, it's black pants, black shoes.
Maybe because you're kind of dying while you're at work in a way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
I can totally.
I guess everybody's wasting their life working, right?
Basically. Nobody wants to work a 9 to 5.
What a sad reality.
That's why I work a 3 to 10.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Doesn't matter. It's called shift work. That's what it's called.
I know.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, it's 11 o'clock at night, so there's that. I don't know how this happened.
I don't know how this
happened. I have to
happened.
work tomorrow.
We're just like, we're not on our right schedule.
I blame the finals.
I blame the finals too.
I blame the NBA.
Yeah. We had game 1 and game 2
okay, hold on.
This past weekend.
Hold on. You can't just hold on. Just hold on, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to get into what you said prior to this this podcast going live, but I am going to crack this celebratory beer because I want to thank you guys for supporting the pod, checking out what we're doing. Jesus Christ, that's a squirter. That's a squirter.
Dude,
there's nothing wrong with that,
me.
guys. Anyways,
it's spun on me.
Like I was saying, thank you guys for supporting the pod, subscribing on YouTube. Comedy and everything. I'm concerned about Adam's beer at the moment.
Why?
It was just, I don't know. That was weird.
It was fizzing.
It was like the first time, this is like the first time you've ever opened a beer on the podcast.
No, I've done it like 3 times. I did it during the draft episode.
Yeah, but that one doesn't count because that was a live stream.
Okay, well, if you guys didn't check that one out, that one was a cool live stream.
Yeah.
It was
But I'm
5
just saying,
hours
like,
long.
sometimes things count and sometimes things don't.
Okay, well, that one definitely counted.
Yeah. I don't make the rules, dude. We go through this all the
Shh.
time. Oh, nice.
That was nice.
Some what is it? ASMR? Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna turn your mic down. There you go.
That's crazy.
Anyways,
how are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing all right, dude.
You're doing all right?
Yeah, I never thought you'd ask. You never do ask.
Well, I never really care.
Man, you were talking some stupid shit earlier, but anyways, we're not gonna get into that. Have you ever been to Popeyes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have. I'm not a huge fan of it.
No, that's fine. We're just
I kind of think
moving
it's
on.
overrated.
That's fine. You're trying to bait me into arguments today, and I'm not gonna fall for it.
I do think Popeyes is overrated.
No,
though.
that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their
I think
opinion.
Church's
Dude.
is better.
We can't all think the same.
I think Church's chicken is better.
Yeah, so do I.
They're like,
What about KFC?
oh, KFC's trash.
What?
KFC's garbage.
Colonel Sanders would like the word.
I would eat Popeyes over KFC,
Okay.
and
You're
then
not, you're not saying much there.
I would eat Church's over the both though.
Okay.
Church's is just the best.
Noted.
But like, I prefer like grilled chicken over fried chicken.
That's the most un-American thing I've ever heard.
Unless the grilled chicken is coming from, or unless the fried chicken is coming from Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, you
country
just
fried
opened
chicken.
a whole different realm right there. We don't need to go down there. Why are you rage baiting me today?
I'm not rage baiting you. I'm just saying like what I'm saying.
You're just saying what you're saying.
I'm just saying what I'm saying.
It sounds like you're doing it on purpose.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just saying like the best fried chicken is from Cracker Barrel.
Okay. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I feel like you don't even believe the own words coming out of your mouth.
I don't. Because I would fucking kill you right now. But I'm not going to. Because that's not the appropriate thing to do. Anyways, game 1, game 2, right? Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder, kind of a big deal, no?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I saw the ratings were like really bad.
Dude, game 1 of the series had the lowest rating of a finals since I think the 80s.
That sucks.
And that doesn't include the 2020 and 2021 just because of like the COVID years. So they excluded those years. But if you exclude those years, it had the lowest.
Okay, hold on.
Since I believe the 80s or the 90s or something like that. But I don't think it was the 90s because the Bulls were in the 90s. So it had to have been in the 80s.
Keep stalling really fast.
So we had game 1 and game 2 over the last week, basically, or I would say last 5 days. Thursday, June 5th, we had the Pacers take down the Thunder 111 to 110. The Pacers stole a game in Oklahoma. And then yesterday, Sunday night, we had the Thunder finally take over and win against the Pacers, 123 to 107 in a very convincing win. But we will get into those a little more in depth just right now after Chris spews this fun fact.
Okay, so
yeah,
do you think the ratings could be down because Oklahoma City ranks 47th in the U.S. by TV market size?
Wow.
And in comparison, Indianapolis is ranked the 25th largest.
I feel like that could definitely play a
That's
role
crazy.
in it. I
Yeah.
feel like it's because
Wow.
like it's crazy because these aren't two teams that are known for just being good in the NBA. You know, like the Pacers have always been very mediocre.
Well, they had Reggie Miller back in the day.
Yeah, but that
And
was
the Thunder
20,
did have the Harden,
that was
Harden
20
and,
plus years ago. And then the
Durant
Thunder,
years.
I feel like their fan base is still very new just because that they were the latest relocation team in 2008 or 2009.
That's pretty crazy, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, they did have the big three with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook in 2011, 2012, 2013 when they made those finals runs. And then they eventually lost to LeBron's Cavs. Or was it the Cavs or the Heat? I think it was the Heat, right?
Yes, it was the Heat.
Yeah, that was my
In
mistake.
comparison, the El Paso's the 76th largest
Jesus
TV market.
Christ.
So I don't know what we're complaining about, but
Well, that's why we don't have
I guess,
an NBA team.
that's why we have no
Yeah.
professional sports here.
I feel like it would go up, though, if we had professional sports teams.
Maybe soccer.
It's just like, I don't know. When I see El Paso, I don't see like fan bases. Like there's not like one solidied fan base here.
UTEP, arguably.
No, not
It's
even.
probably
Like
the
I feel
biggest
like,
one.
No, because I feel like okay. Well, I'm
Well,
looking
it's not
at it.
okay, but it's not the Locomotives. It's not
No,
the Chihuahuas.
Definitely not.
So who else can it be?
It's the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like a team that's actually located here.
Yeah, there's not one. Like,
And
I
then if
wouldn't
you
even-
take away the fact of like it's a university too, then it's even worse. Because that would mean that it would be
it's all college students.
Chihuahuas or the Locomotive, and it's not a very good comparison to be making.
It's not.
And I love my local teams, by the way. Anyways,
I don't. So
Haliburton hallied again on in game 1, right at the very end, and it was kind of crazy because it kind of felt like the Thunder gave up towards the end. They were up most of the game, and then at the very end, they kind of just let the lead go to waste in a way.
Yeah, a couple facts here from game 1 is
Because not even a good game from a lot of the Pacers on this one. I mean, decent scoring again, like spread out scoring, but like Haliburton only had 14, and he only had 6 assists, which is pretty low for him.
Yeah, the Thunder dominated game 1 in the first 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters of that game were all OKC. And with 3 minutes left in the first half, which means that not even the entire half had gone, the Thunder were dominating the turnover battle 17-3. So the Pacers had given up 17 turnovers in the same amount of time that the Thunder gave up 3. And 17 turnovers was the most the Pacers had given up all season long in a single half. And it didn't stop there. It ended with 18 turnovers to OKC's 4. And OKC was up 12 at the end of the first half. So OKC still had the lead going into the second half, and eventually they just ended up crumbling in the fourth.
They gave up back-to-back 30-point quarters, 31 in the third and 35 in the fourth. That's a lot of points, honestly.
To what OKC's?
28 in the third for OKC. So that one was still very close, but then only 25 in the fourth.
Yeah,
but like anytime you give a team a 30-plus point quarter, that's an indication that something's not working there. But kudos to the fucking Pacers for pulling it out, because that win is, and even that shot Haliburton hit is so much more critical now with the result of game 2.
Absolutely. And when you look at that first game, the Pacers were struggling on offense and defense, like completely, the entire 3.5 quarters. SGA, who isn't known for 3-pointers, was 2 from 5 from the arc and had 19 at the half. So for him to have 19 at the half, and he was shooting 3-pointers in that first half very confidently, he took 5 of them. And when you're not a 3-point shooter primarily and you take 5 3-pointers, that clearly shows that you had enough space and you had enough confidence to take those shots when you're primarily a mid-range shooter and a lane driver. And then on top of that, OKC was only shooting 37%, while Indiana was shooting 42%. So they were up by 12, and they were shooting 5% worse than the Pacers. So if they're taking more shots and even shooting less, it didn't really matter because they were already up by 12 at the half. And the Pacers' leading scorer at half was TJ McConnell with only 9 points. So for your leading scorer at the half to be a bench player with only 9 points, it goes to show that you were really struggling in that game.
Sounds about white.
Oh my God.
I had to do it.
Jesus
DJ McConnell. If anybody's gonna like warrant that joke, like what better guy than that, right? Come on.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, but look at the rest of the team too. Haliburton was the leading scorer and he finished with 17. And then Siakam 15.
No, he finished with 14.
Haliburton. It says Haliburton here 17, 6, and 3.
That's game 2.
Oh, I thought we were talking about game 2 now.
No, we were talking about
game 1. You're on game 1 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Haliburton finished with 39 minutes to only his 14 points and 10 assists, or his 10 rebounds. I'm sorry, he only had 6 assists. So he was averaging 9 assists against the New York Knicks. So to be dropped down to 6 assists for him, 6 assists is still a great game, but for Haliburton, that is a very low game. And his 10 rebounds shows that he was tied for the second leading rebounder on that team. So that rebounding really came to life in the second half, and that's exactly what they needed. Pascal Siakam had 10 rebounds himself to 19 points, and Aaron Nesmith had 12 rebounds to his 10 points as well. So we didn't have a really big scoring game out of the, game 1 for them, but it was very well-rounded. Siakam had 19, Nesmith had 10, Miles Turner had 15, Haliburton had 14, Nembhard had 14, and Obi Toppin Harden had 17. And TJ McConnell, if he would have had one more point, he would have finished with 10 as well. So they had 6-7 guys go for double-digit points, and it goes to show that it doesn't always take a superstar for your team to win. If everyone clicks and if everyone just plays their part and does what they're supposed to do, whether it's the starters or the bench players getting their bare minimum 10, 12, 14 points, it can prevail, and it can go over their star players in Oklahoma, with Shai doing most of the damage with 38 points. He had 38 points, and then their next highest scorer was only Jalen Williams with 17.
Yeah, they only had 4 in double digits. That's crazy.
And Jalen Williams, sure, he had 17 points, but he did not put up a good game whatsoever. I feel like watching him play the game in game 1, he just did not have a good game. He was... It almost kind of seemed like he was struggling, and he was
inefficient for
he was very inefficient, and he wasn't even taking bad shots at that. I think that his shots were really great, the ones that he was taking, but he had 4 rebounds, he had 6 assists, no blocks, 1 steal, which is kind of common for him, but he usually averages 1 to 2 steals a game. So for him to only have 1 against this fast-paced Indiana team, and you'd think that if they're moving faster, they're more prone to making mistakes. And that's what we did see with all those turnovers in the first game. But for him to only really have 1 of them, it really showed that he wasn't, or that he was struggling. He was only shooting 31% from the field.
I mean, Chet struggled pretty hard too. 24 minutes and only 6 points.
I was about to get to him. Chet Holmgren did not have a good game whatsoever in
I
game
believe
1.
that Hardenstein didn't even start this game either. So
no, he did start this game.
But he didn't start game 2 then. He didn't start one of them.
No, I thought he had started both.
No. They sat him for one of them for sure.
Okay.
Because they started Kaysen Wallace in one of the games instead. I saw that.
In the starting lineup?
Yeah, in the starting lineup, it's pretty crazy. I'm honestly like pretty certain it was game 1.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren, I'm frustrated with you
look,
if I'm an
Kaysen
Oklahoma
Wallace starting guard in game 1.
If I'm an Oklahoma City
That's crazy.
fan, I'm real annoyed with Chet Holmgren in game 1. He played 24 minutes, which, first of all, that is bad coaching. I would not like to see Chet Holmgren play only 24 minutes. He played half the game. He was shooting 22% from the field, which is absolutely atrocious.
That's terrible.
He didn't take a single 3-point look. He only had 6 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 block. And I mean, what to show for it? He had absolutely nothing to show for in this game. 6 points? Are you serious? You're 7-2. You're only getting 6 points, 6 rebounds. Like, I'm sorry. If you're not getting 10 points in this one game where you had 17, or I think they ended with 25 turnovers or something like that. And it was an insane amount of turnovers. And for them to produce 0 offense out of that, I think that's where the Thunder really struggled in this game. And that's where they messed up. That's where they lost this game. They lost this game because they could not turn those turnovers into offensive points and fast break points.
And I feel like I said it before, Chet plays a little just too like out of control sometimes. And like he outplayed Hardenstein minutes wise by 7 minutes and had a less of an impact than he did, because Hardenstein at least had 9 rebounds and 9 points. And like Chet has more of a balanced scoring game than Hardenstein does. Because if Hardenstein's not under the basket, like he's not going to be shooting jump shots or anything like that. So It's just weird that Chet can't get it together some games.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's like an abysmal performance too. It's not even like decent. It's just like,
and it's crazy because in the regular season he averaged 15 points a game, and then in the postseason he's averaging 15.8 a game. So his average is 15. If he can
just
score
fluctuates,
15,
it just goes up and down. So
right,
like crazy.
And then if you look at these last 5 games in a small sample size, every time Chet has scored 15 or more, they win. Every time he scores less, they lose. So game 4 against Minnesota, 10 points, lost. And then game 5 against Minnesota, 21 points, win. 22 points, win. 6 points against Indy in game 1, lose. And then game 2, 15, win.
So that's what we were talking about. They're only going to go as far as their second scorer is going to take them.
Right, exactly.
Pretty much.
And that's what we had been talking about.
Pretty much the tale of game 2 is like they got more production from all the other players that weren't named SGA.
Exactly. And then same thing with Jalen Williams. 13 points in the loss against Minnesota in game 4, 34 in game 5 win, 19 in game 6 win. Or, I mean, in game 5 win. I'm sorry. I was 1 game ahead. And then you had 17 points in the loss, and then you had 19 in the win against Indianapolis.
It's so crazy.
Or against Indiana. So it's crazy how when these guys hit a certain benchmark in their scoring, they tend to win. And then obviously when they go just underneath that, it doesn't even have to be by much, they lose. And you can take this result all the way back to Denver series for Jalen Williams. He scored 18 in game 5 and they won. He scored 6 in game 7 game 6 or no. Game 18 or
Jesus
game
Christ.
5. Game 5, he scored 18, they win. Game 6, he scores 6, they lose. Game 7, he scores 24 and they win.
Fuck it out.
And then you take it to game 1, game 2, 19, 26, win. 13, lose, 34, win, 19, win. So it's almost as if every time he scores 19 or more points, they win.
Yep.
In the last
but I mean,
8
it's
games.
not only him though. I mean, it's other guys scoring too. Like
Right,
Aaron
right,
Wiggins
right.
had himself a game.
Aaron Wiggins had a good game too.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not always going to be Jalen Williams or Chet.
Right,
That's
but
the
it almost
thing.
kind of feels like it needs to be.
Well, it
these
needs
guys.
to be one of them because they're the. I mean, other than SGA, they're the most skilled players on the team, right? They're like
Right.
they're like who you think would be stepping up, but in other games, like the Thunder have had a lot of other guys just like kind of fill those shoes in a way instead.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, and it's almost as like Oklahoma has a weapon at disposal, but their weapon is also their kryptonite
It's always changing.
with them not having a solidified number 2.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps them, and it also ruins them in certain game flows. And depending on how the game goes, if they're number 2, which is either Isaiah Hartenstein, whether it's Alex Caruso, whether it's Jalen Williams, whether it's the other Jalen Williams, whether it's Chet Holmgren, it can be any one of those guys. And that's the make or break kind of deal. And if they have a good game, they win. If they don't have a good game, they lose. And it's not always the same guy back-to-back games.
Yeah, I know, because you'll see somebody like Lou Dort have a good game and then disappear the next.
Right, exactly.
And that's like they all do that except for SGA.
Exactly.
He's
And
just like, you know what? I'll drop another 30 piece tonight, guys. Don't you worry about it.
And I think
Count me in.
that's the thing that's overlooked with this Thunder
That's
team.
so
is
crazy with him.
everybody was all like, "Oh well, SGA didn't deserve the MVP."
Oh, yes, he did. Of course he
did. And Nikola Jokic deserved it.
hell
And I
no.
think if you look at this team, this has been the most consistent player in the league.
Jokic has a better surrounding cast, arguably, than fucking SGA does.
Arguably.
I mean, just
because-
like based on
I think just because of the experience that they all
yeah.
have.
Well, I mean, just based on you have a true ball handler in Jamal Murray, you have a knockdown shooter in Michael Porter Jr. You know what I mean? Like you just have a little bit more like
Even Aaron Gordon.
Even Aaron Gordon, you know, like okay, these are the guys that I can count on. Not Alex Caruso. I mean, all respect to him, but that sounds
He
about
actually
white.
had a pretty good game too.
No, he did, but like if you're counting on Alex Caruso, like you know, that's kind of rough.
Yeah. So
Or even if you're counting on Aaron Wiggins too, like some of these guys, you're just like, damn, they had the game of their life, and it really matters though in these finals, you know.
yeah, so looking at game 2 specifically, the Thunder finally took it and won 123-107. Pascal Siakam had 15, Neesmith had 14, Miles Turner 16, Tyrese Haliburton 17, Andrew Nembhard 11, Benedict Mathurin 14, TJ McConnell 11. So again, they had a great rotation with plenty of points to go around. Not a single guy went over 17 points though, and I think that's their real problem is you have a game sample like game 1 where your biggest score was only 19 in Pascal Siakam and they won. But then you also have a game like this where it's kind of the exact same scoring wise
Spread.
Yeah, their spread is equal and they lose.
Right, but at the same time, something that they've been struggling with is they scored 20 points in the first quarter in back-to-back games. So they're getting behind the 8-ball.
Exactly.
And then that's kind of like it kind of forces these guys to take more threes or take other shots that they shouldn't be instead of looking for the guy that's cutting the open man. Because and then in the second quarter, 21 points. You know what I mean? So like right there, you're just digging yourself in a hole.
Yeah.
And then you don't have the scoring to make up for it.
And
so
at halftime, they were down by 18. It was 41-39, I'm sorry.
Yeah, people were flipping the channel already on that one.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, okay. Like even I was like, this game looked completely different from game one in the example that they were just so dominant on offense. And I think this was a heavy offensive game. It wasn't even the defense that was great. The defense is always great for the Thunder, night in, night out, and they were good in this game. But I think they were even better in game one, which is the crazy part, and they lost that game. So I think the offense for the Thunder really stepped up this game, and Jalen Williams finally had a little bit of a better game with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and his 19 points looked much better than what his 15 or 17 was in game one. Lou Dort only had 3, so he was very inefficient in this game. Only 3 points, but 26 minutes, so clearly he wasn't getting any good looks. Chet Holmgren finally had a good game, 15.6 rebounds. This is what you want out of Chet Holmgren if he's playing the 5 in this game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, once again, 34 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. You're always going to get that 31 to 35 point game from Shai. And little side note, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is actually the highest scorer in the finals in their first 2 NBA games.
That's crazy.
In the finals. The 2 people behind him are Allen Iverson and Michael Jordan.
Well, he went over 70 points combined.
Yeah, it was 72, I think is what it was.
That's crazy.
72 points is the most ever in their first 2 NBA finals games.
That's good company to keep right there.
No, exactly. I mean,
if you're SGA, you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, if you're hanging with Allen Iverson and Michael Jordan.
Well, how much of this is OKC being desperate since they already went down 1 at home? You know what I mean? And
I don't think it's desperation, though.
I think it is, because you can't go down 2-0 and lose home court advantage like that.
It is desperation in a mentality concept
Right.
from, I guess, I would say like the fans and the coaching.
Well, also the way the players come out.
I don't think so, because I think if you look at this game, they weren't taking wild shots. And I think when you're looking at desperation games,
no, I mean desperation more like in like how hard you play defense, like your hustle, things like that.
I wouldn't call it desperation. I would call it commitment for these guys playing the way that they played in the regular season.
There's a little desperation there. You can't say there's not. I mean, if you know that if you don't win this game, you're going to go down 2-0, and then the next 2 games are in Indy.
Desperation comes mistakes, and they didn't make any mistakes in this game. 0.
Right.
I saw 0 mistakes.
They executed well, but I mean that doesn't mean they were playing at another. They're playing at a higher intensity than the Pacers were.
And I think this is the Thunder team that we've seen all season long, is that they play at this level and everyone else is below them. And that's why they had the best record. That's why they had the best defense in decades that we have seen in terms of takeaways, in terms of turning defense into offense in these transition points when they take the ball, because not every team that takes the ball can turn that defense into offense. And I think this is one unique capability of this defense, to where you have people like Lou Dort and Jalen Williams and Shai and even Alex Caruso a little bit, where these guys just know how to take the ball away without fouling. And this is this is the problem that a lot of other players in the league have, is that they take the ball away, or they attempt to take the ball away, but it's always foul, 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 foul. These guys can do it very clean and very swiftly, and they know how to get underneath a dribble and just take that ball away. And they all kind of work in unison. If you really see them on the court, it's 5 people watching the ball at all times. There's never a moment where someone takes the eye off the ball handler. And I think that's a really great attribute for them, because they watch the ball constantly, and they're also aware of where their man is at when they're playing man-to-man.
Well, it's just solid like team defense. And like people don't realize that like when one guy doesn't play defense, it just affects everybody else. And then it makes your ability to rotate that much harder. And then that's why you guys see wide open shots all the time. But if you think about this on the reverse, right, for Indy, if they lose game 1 and then they lose that game too, like everybody's just writing them off right away. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just how fast like these series can switch based on like 1 or 2 made shots.
Agreed.
Which is absolutely crazy, because OKC could be like in complete control right now.
Yeah, and I think that it can go the other way that you explained it for both teams.
I think it's going to go that way now for Indy going into game 3 at home.
I honestly think that when they go back to Indy, they split these next 2 games. I think it goes 2-2.
Right. But what I'm saying is like now Indy's going to have that desperation.
Right. Indy, the pressure is on Indiana
It's just
now
gonna-
because of
it's
how
gonna-
dominant the Thunder have been.
It's just going to like go from one team to the other. It's going to weave back and forth based on what happens.
Yeah, and I think Indiana splits here back at home, and I think they take either game 4 or game 3 or game 4.
Because we still haven't had like a big Hallie game, and you know that's coming. That's going to come at some point.
You're gonna get a 27,
and you're gonna get
point game,
you're gonna
13
probably also get
rebounds.
like a 30-point Siakam game at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Siakam was completely dominant against the Knicks, where he had 3 out of the 6 games go for over 30 points.
He's actually due, I would say.
But we had also said that this is a completely day and night difference for defenses from the Knicks to the Thunder. It's like almost playing a preschool team.
No,
against
it's
a
not that
professional
big of a
team.
difference.
I
These
think
guys
it
are
really
still
is.
NBA players.
No, I think it really is that big of a
Preschool.
difference because the Thunder are playing at such a high level on defense that people don't understand that it's very, very hard to maintain an offensive rhythm when you're playing this team. And the only other team we saw really challenge them were the Nuggets. It took them to 7 games for them to crank a win out. And I think that the Pacers are semi-capable of recreating what the Nuggets did. I just don't know exactly which way it's going to flip, but I think it goes to 6 or 7 games. I don't think this ends in 5. I don't think the Thunder or the Pacers take full control when they go back to Indiana.
I think Indy for sure wins the 3rd game, and then, like you said, they probably split the 4th one.
I think Thunder wins 3, and I think the Pacers.
Or maybe
win 4.
the NBA is just like, fuck it, one of you guys wins. We'll just toss this whole series since nobody's watching. They could do that, right?
The viewership is so
They're
down.
like, can we just get to the NFL? Like everybody's on board. Like even like the Pacers fans are like, I'm ready to see Anthony Richardson now.
You know who I really liked in Game 2? I really liked Alex Caruso. I think
He's a
played.
baller, man.
I think he
He's
played
a
a great
stud.
Game 2.
He's a veteran.
And when he got traded for Josh Giddey,
He's been all around the league, by the way, too. That's what's crazy about
how
that.
many teams has he played for?
Probably been with like 5 different teams.
Has he really?
Yeah, I can name 3 off the top of my head.
I can only name the Bulls.
With the Bulls, he was with the Lakers. He's with these guys now. And he,
So only 3 teams.
well, no, I'm sure, dude. I'm
No,
like
he's
100.
only played for 3 teams. I'm looking at it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the
Okay,
Lakers, the Bulls,
that's crazy.
and OKC.
I felt like he was with someone else. When he
No,
was
that's
younger.
why I was like, really? I was like, I don't remember him on 5 teams. I only remember him on the Bulls. And then from 17 to 21, he was the Lakers. 21 to 24, it was Chicago. And then 24-25 is OKC.
I mean, he's like pretty much what you want in like a guard off the bench. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
he can shoot, he can get to the hole, he can ball handle, he can play D, and he's actually one of the few guards that's not afraid to go to the hole either.
yeah, he's never been your number 1 on a team. Alex Caruso has always been a role player wherever he's been. He's never averaged more than 10 points except last year with the Bulls, and it was 10.1 in 71 games played. So he had a pretty good season.
Well, he
last
got a lot of minutes with the Bulls too.
Yeah, he was averaging 28 and
Yeah.
23 and 28.
So it's like as long as he plays, he's going to be somewhat efficient.
With
out there.
OKC, he's averaged 19 minutes, so just under that 20-minute mark. And he is averaging 7.1 with them. So I mean, that's a great bench spot that you want. Alex Caruso is an all-around player, like you said. He plays a little bit of defense, plays a little bit of offense. He can shoot from the mid-range, he can shoot from the arc, he can drive to the hole, and I think he's not your MVP caliber player by any means.
Way.
But he is just an all-around great bench player.
But I mean, he does do what everyone else does: is fall off a cliff every once in a while.
yeah, I mean,
Like, dude,
he's-
Hardenstein, Jesus Christ!
Like I
looking
said,
at his line,
he's
Jesus.
not always going to be your number 1 option
That's
or even
crazy.
your number 3 option on the team.
No, he's like probably option 6, I would say.
I would say he's like the 5th best player on this team.
Well, no, I know, but option wise, because some guys are going to get theirs just because of who they are.
Oh, right.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
it goes Shea,
Yeah, it goes
Chet,
Shea,
Chet, J-Dub.
Lou, and then Hardenstein.
No, I think it goes Hartenstein, Caruso, And then
no, Lou Dort is way more involved, dude. Always.
I think like in terms of just a good player, I think Alex Caruso.
Right. But like what I said is that like Dort is gonna get his his opportunity just because of who he is. Not that he's a better player.
I'm just
Caruso.
saying that he's probably the fourth best player on this team or fifth.
Yeah. But like I said, fifth. You could be so good, but if they don't play you or if they don't give you the run, then
it means nothing.
It means nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why you say, like, you'll see Dort is always going to consistently play more minutes than Caruso will. But that's just the role they play. I mean, Dort actually plays like he can play like the 3 and the 4, and Caruso can't do that. You know what I mean? Size-wise.
Yeah. Alex Caruso went 100% from the free throw line.
Versatility just like helps. That's all I'm trying to say.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay, well, game 2, Alex Caruso went 54% from the field, which is great. 50% from three-point range.
That's good.
100% from the free throw line. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 turnovers. So, I mean, 2 turnovers isn't that bad for 20 points. He had 20 points in the game, and he went 54% from the field.
2 turnovers
altogether.
Is fantastic, actually.
Yeah, two turnovers for a 20-point, 50% efficiency game.
It's hard
great.
Not to turn the ball over.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the team that you're playing. They have a lot of size on that team. You got Nembhard, Nesmith, even Haliburton himself is a big point guard.
Big guard.
Yeah,
he's long.
You know, I feel like when I look at like, there's certain players that just match the stature of a certain position, and Haliburton does not match the stature of a point guard. Like, no. I look at him and I'm like, I forget that he's a point guard.
Yeah, no, it's because he looks like he's a 3 out there. Sometimes.
Yeah, he looks like a power forward. That's what he looks like.
But I mean, that's also a testament to how good he can handle the ball.
Right.
And his vision, because like he drops double-digit assist games all the time, and then at the same time he has like 1 turnover.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of a point guard,
but
think
also
of like
I guess
Steph Curry and like Damian Lillard.
No, you think of like Jason Kidd, Tony Parker, Chris Paul, like your traditional point guard is that. Yeah. And then now you have these evolutions of point guards, right? But like your traditional point guards like Steve Nash.
I wasn't talking all time. I was just talking current.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you think about like what point guards used to be,
right?
It was some guy that was probably never going to shoot, and if he would, it would be like a layup. And then all he's doing is just facilitating the offense.
Yeah, your shooting guard is who you want shooting the ball.
Right, exactly. That's your Kobe. That's your Manu Ginobili. That's like that secondary option. Like
your power. You know what I mean? Your point guard was your coach on the court.
Right, and then your center was always like a pretty big deal.
Right, your center was always your paint guy, but that's not how it is anymore. Like you have centers like Jokic and Wemby and fucking Zach Edey. Dropping threes. Yeah, Giannis dropping threes left and right.
Well, even someone like Chet, even though like...
Is Giannis a center on paper?
Well, he can... I mean, you can put him as a center if you wanted to.
Yeah, he can play the 4 and the 5, right?
But like somebody like Chet, like just the size of a center.
Yeah,
but doesn't play like a center at all. Is even listed as a center on here.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. As a center, and I think like game flow wise and the way you draw up plays, he's best at the 5, but he really plays like a 4.
Do you remember Greg Oden?
No, I don't know that name.
Oh, dude, that was one of the biggest busts ever.
Who's that?
He was a center from Ohio State, and the Trailblazers drafted him like number 2 overall, in front of like I think somebody big too. Like don't quote me on it, but like in front of like KD almost.
What?
Yeah, and this guy was the biggest flop ever, dude. It was terrible. But there's been a few that are like,
oh my god, Greg Oden played 4 years in the league.
Terrible.
Oh, actually, okay. So he played 08, 09.
Yeah.
And 010 with the Blazers.
Yes.
He didn't play for anyone 11 and 12. And then 13, 14, he played with the Heat.
Big flop. And he went like 1 or 2, if I'm correct. Or top five. Top 5.
His best season was 2009 to 2010 with the Blazers. He averaged 11.1 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 0.9 assists.
Poor guy. Somebody that I always think of and just like, wow, you guys really whiffed it on that one.
Greg.
What position was he, or what like?
He was a center. 2007 draft.
Yeah, but what pick?
He was round 1, pick 1.
You see?
No way. So wait, he was in front of KD?
I don't know if it's KD, but he was in front of everybody else that was in that draft.
What?
And look at that draft.
Wasn't KD
I'm pretty sure.
07?
I don't know. I could be wrong. I want to say it is.
Dude, it's KD at 2.
You see? You see what I mean?
Wait, look at this draft class.
wow.
This draft class actually had some good players.
Yeah, dude. They
Look,
usually
okay,
do.
so Kevin Durant. Okay, I'm gonna list the players that I actually know from this draft. Kevin Durant at 2, Al Horford at 3,
Al Horford, yes.
Mike Conley at 4,
Conley, he's still
Jeff
running.
Green at 5,
True. Jeff Green was
Thaddeus Young at
Thaddeus
12,
Young, he didn't really pan out very
Al
well.
Thornton at 14. I know that name.
He's like a league long bet.
I don't think I know anyone else from
Yeah,
this draft.
I mean it's not that noticeable, but like, okay, so this is equivalent to so they picked Odin over
dude,
Durant.
Mark
right?
Gasol was in this draft
That's crazy.
at 48.
Yeah, well, because he was an international player.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
at the time, it was like
international players were like, whatever.
we don't trust you guys. But then like Dirk and Tony Parker and Manu, they started changing all that.
Right.
Jose Calderon, by the way, another good international point guard.
Yo, am I tripping? I thought, what year was LeBron drafted? Was it not 04?
I want to say like 05.
Was it 05? Oh, no, it
feel like I
was
was in
03.
03,
Damn.
Jesus
I
Christ.
thought it was 04.
Anyways, okay, so look, that comparison with Odin
yeah.
is very similar as to what the Warriors did when they drafted
James Wiseman.
James Wiseman in
over
front of Anthony Edwards, bro.
Yeah, and then there
Imagine-
was LaMelo Ball, too.
Imagine, either one of those guys.
LaMelo Ball was in that draft. Dude, imagine LaMelo
Okay,
on the
so
Warriors.
what I don't understand is how you get that so wrong, bro. Like, how do you get that so absolutely wrong?
Sometimes
And
it
like
just
your
happens
job
like that.
is being an NBA scout, an NBA like a savant, right? Where you just watch a bunch of tape and you go to all these tournaments where you see these guys play and you talk to their coaches and you talk to their families and you get to interview them and work them out and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then you still make the wrong decision. And it's like other teams made other bad decisions too. It just happens. It's crazy though.
Sometimes it just happens.
But yeah, the Wiseman thing's crazy, and then the Greg Oden thing's crazy. I always
is
think about
crazy.
that. I'm like, damn, what could have been?
What
You know?
could have been?
Like the Blazers would have had KD,
Dude.
and then Dame would have been like a little after, like you know what I mean. And then they probably had Batum, Nicholas Batum at the time too, and he was a baller.
You want to know what's crazy? I feel like this is very equivalent to what happened in the 2007 NFL draft. Do you know what happened in that draft?
I feel like Michael Vick's in there.
No. Round 1, pick 1. Jamarcus Russell to the Raiders.
Yeah.
You want to know who went 2?
Who?
Just a measly Hall of Famer, Calvin Johnson. Just to the Lions.
Nobody to write home
The
about.
only wide receiver to get 2,000 yards.
They only called him Megatron.
Yeah. Oh, and then number 3, another.
Well,
another,
I think Jamarcus Russell, to be fair, he had like a lot of shit going on.
Number 3 was also a Hall of Famer. Nothing light, Joe Thomas, tackle to the Browns.
Yeah, but nobody
Nothing
cares
light,
about tackles.
you know who went 7? Adrian Peterson. Something light.
He used to beat people in college.
Yeah. Number 9, Ted Ginn.
His
Nothing,
size. His size was
number 12, Marshawn Lynch. Kind of whatever.
Yeah,
Number 14.
He went to Stanford. It's
Number
like Stanford,
14,
really.
Darrell Revis. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, but he turned out to have some problems though.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't talk about those problems.
Anyways, but yeah, I would still take Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, I'd take Jamarcus Russell.
Considering everything else, I'd still pull the plug.
How do the Raiders
Dude,
fucking up?
but remember how big
bad?
that fool was?
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
he was a
pretty big.
specimen, bro.
He was like 6'6",
And he could throw the ball like no, dude. He was. I want to say he was like 6'7". Well, actually, I don't know.
he
This
was
is
not that big.
this is NFL. He
is
was probably like
NFL.
6'6". But he
I mean,
looked.
he was 6'6", 260.
He looked like a.
Oh my god, that's a unit, bro.
Bro, he looked like a Madden created player.
Yeah, that's what it's like when you create your Madden player and you
Yeah.
want him as big as possible and as fast.
And you're
as
like,
possible.
wait, this guy can throw the ball? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's problems. But he was buns for sure.
Oh yeah, straight buns.
But
Let's see what his best year was.
dude, I don't even.
What do
think
you think his best year was?
How can you have a best year if you were ass?
He
the
only
whole
played
time?
3 years in the league. Jesus Christ. 4 games in his rookie year. Completed 54% of his passes.
he was hurt,
373
though.
yards. His best year was year 2. Oh wait, he averaged. He had a
Jamarcus Russell talk.
completion.
I
He had
love it.
53% completion percentage, 2,400 yards, 13 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Dude, 2009.
That's not that bad.
2009, he played 12 games, 3 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Yep. That's why he got benched. Yep.
That is so crazy.
That is wild.
Dude, imagine taking him over Calvin Johnson, Adrian Peterson.
Well, that's why those guys
Reeves.
get fired right away.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of somebody that got fired, Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, shout out Tom Thibodeau.
By the way.
He got fired. Oh, I found out it's Tom Thibodeau.
Well, what did I say?
Well, I like we were going back and
Thib.
forth. We were always saying like Thibodeau and Thibodeau.
No, Thibodeau.
I know, but both of us have said
Yeah.
Thibodeau and
Well,
Thibodeau.
I just have a speech impairment, so thank you for pointing that out.
a speech impairment.
Yeah, sorry. I struggle with words.
Well, it's Tom Thibodeau.
Dude,
Shout out Tom Thibodeau.
dick.
You want to know what's crazy? Calvin Johnson in his second year, the same year that Jamarcus Russell had his best year,
Okay.
Calvin Johnson went for 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Not bad. Not too shabby, huh?
Not too shabby.
But wait, how come nobody
light.
ever gives Detroit crap for ruining two of the best players of all time?
Dude, for real. Okay, I don't know about Matthew Stafford being the best of all time.
No, I'm not even talking about fucking Matthew
Barry
Stafford.
Sanders?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Barry.
Matthew Stafford.
I thought you were
The
talking about
fuck?
Matthew Stafford. I
No.
was like, I don't know about that one.
I said two of the best players of all time. He's not in that
He's
category.
not in that category now.
Barry Sanders, though.
Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders.
Yeah, dude. And they ruined both of them.
Imagine an all-time
I think they
Lions
forced. I think they forced them to
Dude,
retire.
why do I feel like... dude, the Lions have had like one of the best all-time offenses ever.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like Matthew Stafford
spanning
isn't
30
even,
years.
Matthew Stafford isn't even that bad of a quarterback.
No,
he's a good
solid.
quarterback. He's a Super Bowl winning
And then
quarterback.
they have badass running backs.
Yeah, you have
Good ass wide receivers.
Yeah, you have
TJ Hawkinson.
Amon-Ra at wide receiver. I would probably put 2, and then Calvin Johnson 1. And then
Yeah.
your tight end would be either TJ Hawkinson
TJ
or
Hawkinson.
What's that new? Oh, Sam Laporta.
No, it would be TJ Hawkinson. He has a
It'd
track
probably be-
record.
yeah,
at
it'd
least.
probably be. Well, I mean,
And then your running backs would be
Barry
Sanders
and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Dude.
That's crazy.
Oh my god!
That's
and then
wild.
Frank Ragnow at their center, and Penei Sewell, who's a like all-star left tackle already, and he's only 2 years into the league.
Yeah, but too bad that's not how football works.
Dude.
It's the Lions, bro.
That's crazy though. They have one of the best all-time offenses.
But I guess you could that shows you how
Well, like okay, would you rather have Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford? I think Matthew Stafford, right?
like right now?
Well, like all time. I think Matthew
It's
Stafford.
kind of like a wash if you think about it.
I don't think so. I think Matthew Stafford's the better quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, like they're not like substantially like way better than one another.
Well, like okay,
That's
you're
like
creating-
saying, would you rather have Coors Light or Bud Light? That's literally the comparison. It's like, well, I prefer my Mountains Blue. You know what I mean? So
prefer
it's
my
like,
mountains.
yeah, you know
I prefer
what I
my
mean?
peaks popping.
Yeah. Or I prefer my beer to be Texas brewed, so I go with Bud Light.
This beer's getting warm.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's getting warm real fast.
How many minutes are we in?
We are at
Like
about
32?
45 minutes.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was off by 10.
But no, I mean, that's not a. I don't know. You can make an argument either way on that. They're both like good.
You think that Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff are a wash?
Yeah, I would say.
Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl. Jared Goff didn't.
I know, but it's not like if you have Stafford, you're guaranteed a Super Bowl every year. Like a lot of it is going to be depending on who's around him.
I guess that's
Yeah,
true.
and that's the same with Goff. That's the same with like almost every quarterback except for like Peyton
Tom Brady.
Manning,
Peyton
Tom
Manning,
Brady,
Patrick Mahomes,
Pat Mahomes. Yeah, like
and
there's
like maybe Joe Montana
maybe like Troy Aikman.
or that guy too. That guy's kind of good.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
kind of good.
there's only so many that were trends where they were like so good that it didn't matter who the fuck was on their team.
You know what we should do?
And that's like kind of the same thing with like basketball too.
You know what we should do?
What should we do?
Let's play Would You Rather,
Okay.
or this player or that player, whatever you want to call
Would
it.
you rather? Okay.
Yeah,
But is this like NFL
So we're gonna-
edition?
Do you want to do NFL first or NBA?
Let's do a mix of both.
Okay, so let's
A little
do.
bit of both.
Okay, well, which one do you want to do first, though? Which
Well, which one do you think I want to do first?
I think you want to do NBA first.
Of course. What kind of question is
Let's
that?
start off easy.
Can we talk some U.S. soccer, by the way? They lost 2-1 to fucking Turkey yesterday. Or
Dude, you
no,
lost
on
it.
Saturday. Yeah, it was 2 own goals given up by the U.S., by the way. Jack McGlynn, Houston Dynamo midfielder, absolute screamer of a goal for the U.S. to open the scoring in about the second minute.
Shout out.
Anyways,
All right, let's start off. We're gonna start off easy.
I love soccer.
We're gonna start off easy, and then we're gonna go a little bit.
What do you mean easy?
Easy, as in like James Wiseman versus Curry.
No. Is that even like why would we even talk about that?
That's why we're gonna get harder as
It has
we
to
go.
be like comparable in a way.
All right, hold on.
Like, would you rather have J.R. Smith or Klay Thompson?
Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Would you rather have Steve Francis or Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry.
Oh, you're underestimating Steve, by the way. Richard Jefferson or Lou Dort? That's an easy one.
I'm not gonna
You
lie.
don't know who
I
Richard
don't know who
Oh
Richard
my
Jefferson
God.
is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So I'll go Lou Dort.
Trey Young or Fred Van Vliet?
Trey Young?
What do you mean?
Is
He
that a
hasn't-
fucking
Has he won an
question?
NBA championship?
It doesn't matter.
Has
That's not a
he
question.
ever done anything relevant in the
No,
NBA playoffs?
I'm sorry, that's not a question.
I'm just saying. Who else? I thought you were supposed to be asking me these questions.
I know, and then you just started
Okay,
going.
sorry. All
No,
right,
no,
my
no,
bad.
it's okay. Keep going.
I got some pretty good ones off the top of my head.
Go
right
for
there.
it.
Who else?
Larry Bird or Michael Jordan?
No. We all know who's winning that one.
Okay, I got one. Jerry West or James Harden?
The beard.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know. He
I
had a
like
bag at one point.
I like that. No,
People
James,
forget about
dude,
that.
James Harden was a menace.
He was
at
a
one point.
problem.
He was a problem.
Like bad. Like a bad
Like
problem to
bad.
have. Like literally, like the guy would
All
be
right.
like at the strip club all fucking night. But then he'd be fucking dropping threes and drawing fouls.
Jimmy Butler or Russell Westbrook?
That one's easy, Jimmy. For
Really?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
He could just do so much more.
I feel like that one's kind of hard.
No, he
would-
could just do so much more. I mean, Russell's just like a byproduct of whoever he's around.
Dirk or Kawhi?
Actually, now that I say that, I would take Dirk.
Yeah, I'd take Dirk too.
Yeah. Another one, Steve Nash or Tony Parker. That's a good one.
Ooh, that is a good one.
That is a fucking.
Is it crazy that I would go Steve Nash?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong
I
at
think
all.
I would go Steve Nash.
Chris Bosh or Amari Stoudemire. That's a good one.
I'm gonna go Chris Bosh.
Do you even know who Amari Stoudemire is?
I think I do.
No, he doesn't.
No, I think I do.
Dude, you missed such a good era of NBA
I'm
basketball.
sorry, I'm just young.
Like another good one would be like John Morant or Reggie Miller.
Oh, John Morant. I don't
No,
like Reggie
no
Miller. I don't like
way.
Reggie Miller.
You
I don't
never
like Reggie
watched
Miller.
the fucking Pacers.
I
back in
don't
the
like
day.
Reggie Miller.
I know that's fine, but
And
you
I don't,
also
you know
never
what?
watched the Patriots.
You know
back
what?
in
I
the
don't
day.
even like John Morant either. Can I choose or on that one? Now that I think about it.
Sure.
All right, I'm choosing or on that one.
Okay. Did you have any NFL ones?
No, but I wanted to ask this.
No.
I wanted to ask this NFL one.
Okay.
I mean this NBA one.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. his name.
No. Right away.
Okay. Shit, I forgot his name.
I've been coming up with the majority of these.
Scottie Pippen or Charles Barkley?
I hate both of those guys. We'll go Charles just because he's funny.
Wow. Okay, I like it.
Manu Ginobili or JJ Redick. Oh, that's a good one right there.
I like JJ Redick.
Fuck, nah, Manu was different, bro.
Dude, Manu was good.
Manu was a fucking savage in the paint. Okay, Tim Duncan or Jokic?
Oh, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, bro.
That's a hard one too.
Tim Duncan.
God damn, I'm coming up with some good ass ones here.
I'm coming up with
Let's
some
see.
good ass.
I got some. I feel like I got some more. Hold on.
No, go for it.
let me
You're on a tear.
D
right
Wade or D Rose. Oh my god, dude, that one's tough, dude. If you really think about longevity and like what they brought to the game, and they're both out of small schools, out of Memphis
what?
and
I
out of
have
fucking
to-
Marquette.
now. As much as I liked seeing D Rose, I have to go D Wade.
That's crazy.
I have to, bro. Just because
Actually,
what they did.
it is not crazy if I think about it. Because I would probably take D Wade too.
Are you
honestly.
one of those people that shit on Kareem?
No way.
You don't?
I try not to shit on anyone, really. I mean,
Really?
yeah. I mean, I really think everybody like played their role in making basketball the way it is.
That's valid.
That's what I think. I mean, like, you're always gonna have people that like prefer LeBron over like Kobe or Kobe over LeBron or LeBron over Jordan or whatever. But it's just all like based in like fanhood, really.
yeah. It
You know what I
really
mean?
is.
Like they like decided they like Jordan and that's it. And you're not gonna change that.
Clyde Drexler or Kevin Durant?
I go KD, just the size and just the like he can literally do it all, and he's 7 foot.
Vince Carter or Allen Iverson?
AI.
AI.
His handle was ridiculous.
Dude, Allen Iverson was so fun.
Vince had the hops. Like, that guy could fly out of the gym, but like AI for his size was a menace. Literally a fucking menace.
No, he really was. He really was.
You know what I mean? And like, even a better one would be like Jason Kidd or AI. Because Kidd was a problem too.
No, AI was just a better all-around player.
No, I know, but Kidd was a basketball savant, like a true point guard.
Yeah,
and very small in size too. Like very did he made like the most out of his situation? I would say
Kyrie Irving or Damian Lillard.
Kyrie for sure.
Really?
Yeah, Kyrie's shown it. Dude, Kyrie's shown it.
I feel like
bro.
that's a very that's a wash. I think in my eyes.
No.
Just because of what they've done, I think so.
No, Kyrie.
I'm just a bigger
big
Dame.
shot. Kyrie is just like a whole nother level.
I don't disagree with you, but like my bias just says Damian Lillard just because I like him better.
Why do I want to compare Rudy Gay to someone?
Rudy Gay or Anthony Davis?
No, that's not a comparison at all. No, Rudy Gay never made it that big. It'd be like Rudy Gay against, I don't know, somebody else.
Against fucking...
Don't go with the joke. Don't do it. I already know what you're thinking. I thought about that too, and I said nope. Especially it's Pride Month. Come on.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. There's some interesting comparisons there. You could do some football ones too.
Dennis Rodman or Luka.
No, that's not even close.
Is it?
Dennis Rodman did nothing but play defense, and Luka doesn't play defense. That's like. They don't. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Okay, but Dennis Rodman
How
has
about
championships.
Jordan Poole?
Oh my god!
Or
dude, you're so high on Jordan Poole. I'm gonna say anyone else. I'm gonna say anyone else.
Okay,
no matter
I'm not
who
gonna
you
say anything. I love Jordan
I'm not
Poole.
gonna say anything.
He gets a lot of hate for what happened. In
I don't
Golden
like
State.
Jordan Poole, bro.
Dude, he's playing with the Wizards. He has no help.
Okay, and
Like Kyle Kuzma, and then they shipped him
all
out.
right, Michael
like,
Jordan or LeBron James.
LeBron.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm taking Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you can take whoever you want. Like I said, it's all going to come down to preference.
That's fine.
And I'm not going to be able to convince you otherwise.
I'm taking
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you won't be able to.
Greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry. Just throwing that out there.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Go back on YouTube, and I challenge everybody to do this, to go back to I believe it's the 2008 Davidson run through the Final Four.
Shaq or Giannis?
I'm talking about Steph right now.
Shaq or Giannis?
Shaq.
Yeah, me
Just
too.
kidding. I don't know. That's rough too. But yeah, go back and watch that. Educate yourself.
Do you think
you'll see the birth of a superstar?
Do you think Kobe
Stop
made
trying
Shaq?
to stop.
Do you think Kobe made Shaq? It's a question.
They made each other. How about that?
No, because Kobe won a championship without Shaq.
I know, but they made each other.
Shaq didn't win anything without Kobe.
I think Shaq won with Miami. No.
No.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
You want to bet?
Look it up.
All right, bet.
I'm pretty sure he won with
No,
Miami.
he took the Magic to the finals, but he didn't win.
No, with Miami.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying Shaq took.
I'm saying Shaq won a title with Miami. That's all I'm saying. I can see it in my head.
No, he didn't.
Are you sure?
Let me see.
Shaq, Miami, NBA Finals championship. Google that.
Oh shit, he did.
Yeah, you see, I can see him holding the stupid fucking thing. Yeah. No, I mean they were perfect compliments to each other.
Oh, I got so scared. I was like, no way Shaq has 25 appearances, but it was breaking it down by game.
Yeah. No.
I was like, there's no way.
And I'm not saying Kobe wouldn't be great without Shaq, but I think Shaq needed Kobe more, but they were both like yin and yang, if you will.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
That's actually a really great like way of putting it.
Yeah. Because they both played two different styles of basketball, completely different
Oh yeah,
styles.
very, very different.
Like Shaq couldn't even make a fucking free throw. Like he
But I think-
legit couldn't.
I think they were, like you said, they were yin and yang. Like they literally
He didn't
fit
need
each
to.
other so well.
He didn't need to make a free throw. That's what Kobe was for.
Shaq made it to the. Oh, never mind. That was. Okay,
But yeah, I remember Shaq winning. That's the whole reason LeBron went over there.
Yeah, so he made it to the finals in 06.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that he went to Miami.
Made it to the
Because
finals.
D-Wade was there.
Made it to the finals in 04. Made it to the finals in 02.
But yeah,
01.
that's a lot of finals appearance.
95 with the Magic.
Yeah, but that's when he was like really young.
Yeah, that was his second year in the
Yeah,
league.
and the Magic, like,
Damn,
they're just- I
Shaq
don't
almost
know.
played 20 years. It's crazy.
Well, all he did was stand under the basket.
Can you name all Shaq teams?
What do you mean?
All the teams
no,
he's been
hell
on?
no.
You couldn't?
No.
I
Because
think
there's
I
some
could.
that I would forget.
I think I could.
See, with the Cavaliers at one point?
He was.
You see? And then what about the Raptors?
No, that's too far.
The Magic.
Yeah.
The Heat.
Right.
The Lakers.
Right. You're forgetting 2.
Where was he nuzzled out? Somewhere.
He was somewhere in the Southwest.
Phoenix.
Yep.
And then
And somewhere in the Northeast.
he wasn't with the Cavs?
Nope. Well, yes, but no. You need one more team. You already said the Cavs.
It's not the Sixers.
Nope.
The
Northeast.
Celtics.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
Boston. Do you know what year he played for them?
No, hell no. Dude, I can't remember that.
His last year in the
His
league.
last year? Shit.
2010, 2011.
Yeah, he was washed by then. Poor Shaq.
Should we
Anyways.
play Would You Rather NFL?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you have it pulled up? Because I asked you, you're like, I got none.
I can try.
right,
Let
do
me
it.
see. What would I even look up?
I don't know. Just compare, compare players.
Should I look up like a top 100 all-time list?
No, I don't think you should do that. Because you can compare players like, okay, LaDainian Tomlinson or Saquon. That's tough.
That's a good one.
That's a fucking tough one right
That's
there.
a good one right off the bat. I'm going to go LT.
LT was a beast.
LT was a beast.
Let me see what else I can come up with off the top of my head.
Okay.
Michael Irvin.
Joe Montana or Peyton Manning?
Peyton, for sure. Michael Irvin or Jamar Chase. That's a good one too. Michael Irvin for sure.
All day.
Jason Witten or Gronk.
Gronk.
Yeah, that's bias right there.
Dude, no, it's not.
No, it is.
Gronk
It
was
is.
just
It's fine.
better.
No, it's fine.
Dude,
it's biased.
Gronk is top 5 all time.
Percy Harvin or Julian Edelman. Probably Edelman.
I think
Now that
Percy
think about
Harvin
it.
had a better prime, but Edelman was just a better player.
No, yeah, he was
for
just all around
longevity.
better.
Yeah.
Why do I want to go like Micah Parsons or Brian Urlacher? that one's tough
I
too.
want to say Micah Parsons, but I would get like shit on just because of how short he's been in the league. I feel like you have to go Brian Urlacher.
Jason Taylor or DeMarcus Lawrence?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
DeMarcus Ware.
Oh,
Well, either one.
I mean, DeMarcus
Ware.
I knew what you were saying by saying DeMarcus Ware.
No, I
DeMarcus
wanted to
Lawrence.
say Lawrence, and then DeMarcus Ware popped into my head.
No, because I think Ware is better than Lawrence.
Let me see. Who else?
Emmett Smith or Barry Sanders?
Emmett.
Yeah.
AJ Thielen or
Who?
AJ Thielen.
Adam Thielen?
Adam Thielen or another wide receiver.
Hunter Renfro?
No.
Adam
What's
Thielen.
there's a wide receiver from the Broncos from back in the day, McCaffrey.
Oh, Ed McCaffrey.
Ed McCaffrey,
Wasn't he
yeah.
that's
That's
a
like-
wide receiver?
Yeah,
Thought he was-
that's like I think that's Christian McCaffrey's like dad or some shit. Yeah.
And then his brother Luke McCaffrey, shout out,
And
plays for the
then-
Commanders right now.
Who else can we compare really fast? It's actually harder than you think to.
It
come
is
up with
harder
some
than
of
you
these. Amron St. Brown.
Say his name right.
What did I say?
Amna.
Amron.
I'm wrong.
Amron. I run.
I run.
Amron St. Brown or Torrey Holt. That's a good one.
I gotta go Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt was a fucking
Yeah.
menace. Marshawn Falk.
Oh,
Falk.
I got a good one.
Or
Kurt Warner or Brett
no,
Favre?
Hold on. Ricky Williams or Marshall Falk.
Ricky Williams.
Oh,
No,
shit.
Marshall Falk. I'm sorry.
Marshall Falk,
Yeah,
for sure.
Marshall Falk. Kurt Warner or Brett Favre?
I was gonna go Kurt Warner right
Yeah,
there.
Kurt Warner's better. He's so much better.
How about? I don't know. My head hurts now.
Me too.
We just named so many right there. That was
Dude,
crazy.
we named so many players.
Jesus Christ. We didn't write a single one of those down, too.
We
before that.
didn't. Wait, this is all off the top of the dome.
I think that shows how pathetic of a losers we are.
Joe Burrow or Russell Wilson?
Joe, for sure.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Russell's just like, I wouldn't want to hang out with him.
I wouldn't either. He's
He's
got
like, dude, just stop.
yeah.
Like, whatever he's doing, dude.
I
Just,
feel like he's just a shitty person.
no, I wouldn't
Like
go
to
that
hang
far.
around. No, like to hang with. Like
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the
Like,
vibes are not
like
there.
he's a good guy, but it's like, I don't want to be a roommate with you.
Right.
You know, and that's a very good measuring stick on how you should rate people in your life. Could you live with them?
Could you live with them? Yeah. I could live with you.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I feel like only the chiefin would get to me sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I plead the fifth. I don't do anything like that.
Oh, you don't do anything like that? Right. As you're hitting it right now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's crazy.
David and fire. Anyways.
I plead the fifth.
That's my favorite saying.
Okay, Julio Jones or Larry Fitzgerald? That's a
probably
good one.
Larry Fitz, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think Larry Fitzgerald was better longevity. I think Julio had a better
just a
prime.
baller, son.
Oh, you know what? Julio Jones or Antonio Brown?
This comes back to that I wouldn't want to hang out with Antonio Brown. I would not. That guy's too much.
I would hang out with Antonio Brown back in 2015.
I mean, like maybe for like a
2016.
night, but then like if he gets way too faded,
You wouldn't live
never
with him,
know.
though.
Yeah, hell no, bro. This guy be pulling guns out.
Okay,
and shit.
I got a question before I even ask. Would you take Tom Brady over every quarterback ever?
I'm taking Peyton Manning.
Oh my God. All right, that's the end of the pod right
Yeah,
there.
that's fine.
That,
End it
no,
right there.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Did you just say you take Peyton Manning over Tom Brady?
Yep. I'm not gonna apologize because of the shit that you were saying before the pod, which I have swept it under the rug.
Bill Belichick or Tom Landry? Oh, that's a good
How about
one. Bro, don't say fucking.
well, let me fucking
Okay,
get
I'm
there.
sorry,
I'm
I'm sorry,
thinking.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yep. Go for it.
I already forgot it.
Actually, okay, you want to know two coaches that are very, very, very comparable?
Jason
in terms
Garrett.
No, Tom Landry and Don Shula. Tom Landry and Don Shula both have 36 playoff wins
Steve Fisher.
or playoff games.
I'm taking Steve.
No, what?
I'm just naming mediocre coaches now.
Fucking. Okay, now would you take
Jason Garrett.
No, I blanked on his name.
Who?
Dan Campbell or I can't think of his name.
Jason Garrett.
No, I hate Jason Garrett,
I know.
bro.
So do I.
Mike Vrabel.
Probably Dan. I like his bald head. Vrabel, I'm like
Vrabel's almost there.
No, I know, but I'm like, dude, you're too much of a Patriot, dude.
He was with the Titans before.
I know, but he was still I know, but he was still a Patriots guy.
You know what's crazy?
I remember him in a Patriots jersey.
I think it was 2020 or 2021 that he won Coach of the Year. He didn't even coach this year. This past year.
That's crazy.
He wasn't on a team, or he was with the Browns.
Well, maybe he needed a break.
He was with the Browns, but I think he was only like a linebacker coach.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
If you were coaching at any capacity with the Browns and you had to be around that shit show for a while, I would take a break too.
No, like that's the team he was with. Like he wasn't a head coach.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you said he was what, a linebackers coach?
Yeah, he was like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was probably fed up with that.
Damn.
He's like, this place sucks.
This place sucks.
I have enough money where I can chill for a year.
No. Like that's what I'm saying. Okay, last season he coached with the Browns.
Right. And now he's barely coaching again, right?
No, okay.
Or he's not employed right now.
Yes, he is. He's with the Patriots.
Okay. So how long did he not coach for?
He didn't head coach for a year.
Right. Which that's what I'm saying is he's like, all right, I don't have to be a head coach.
No, he is a head coach now.
Now, but like with the Browns, he's like, nah, fuck this.
2023, he was a head coach for the Titans.
Right.
2024, they
went to the
fired him.
Browns.
He went to the Browns. 2025, he's a head coach for the Patriots.
Well, maybe he just hated the Browns that much.
I'm sure anyone would hate the Browns that much.
That's what I was saying.
But you said that he took a year
I thought,
off.
yeah, I misunderstood.
No, he didn't take a year off.
You
That's what
explained
I'm
that
saying.
very poorly.
Well, I'm sorry, but I corrected myself.
You need to really sharpen up your words sometimes.
You need to really sharpen up
Because
your words
sometimes it doesn't
sometimes it just doesn't
come clear.
Come clear.
What was that? Whose voice was that?
Whose voice was that?
That's your voice.
I don't sound like that.
I don't sound like that.
You have nothing else to do. other
Well,
than
what?
just
All you're
lower
gonna
my
do is
volume.
mock me. What do you want me to do?
You can't.
Oh shit!
Oh, there you go. What'd you drop?
My lid.
Okay. We want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up now.
So stupid. You're so
Yo,
dumb.
hey, Chris, when are you going to do your Conversing with Chris, the podcast?
That's a good question, dude. I have no idea.
Because everybody's waiting for it. Did you know that?
I've seen messages, yeah.
Who messaged you?
A couple people. I'm not gonna get out. I'm not
Well,
gonna.
I haven't messaged you, but I thought about it for sure. I'm
No,
like,
I know.
Damn. I'm like, when the fuck is this dude gonna do his
Yeah.
podcast?
I don't know. Maybe I'm too busy doing this one. I don't know.
You're too busy doing this one.
Not
This is only
that.
once a week.
I don't think it's that. I think I just like doing this one better. Does that make sense?
I like that.
Yeah.
You like
It's
doing
just
sports more?
easier. Yeah. I just like I've always loved sports,
Yeah, me too. I love sports.
and like I originally wanted to do a sports podcast.
you know, I've been keeping up with baseball a little bit lately. I'm learning. By the way, like
I'm
I don't.
learning.
I
It's
literally.
pretty easy to understand. Dude.
No, it really isn't.
What do you mean? We're not gonna.
Okay, do you know what ERA is?
Yes, earn run average.
Do you know whether it's like? Do you know what the league average is?
No, but you want your ERA to be low.
Okay, do you know what OPS is?
Yes, on base percentage.
Plus slugging.
Well, yeah, but I mean, slugging's a little different.
Dude, I don't know baseball.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Dude,
up
I
until
used to
like a
play
week ago.
baseball forever, dude. I played
Well,
until I was like 13.
I didn't know that up until literally like a week
Yeah.
ago.
I
What's
fucking-
your team?
I mean, I don't have a team anymore. It was the Yankees, though.
Oh my god! Of
Yeah,
course
but
it's
that's
the
what everyone
Yankees.
says. That's why I say I don't follow them anymore, so I don't have a team. But I do know the fundamentals of baseball
Okay.
and the stats and
I
all that
didn't.
shit. Yeah.
I'm like blatantly saying that I just don't know anything about an MLB.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. It's different now. Baseball used to be a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, like do you know who's at the top of the league right now? Like wins wise?
No, probably like the Dodgers,
Nope.
the Brewers.
Nope.
I don't know.
The Detroit Tigers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
43
crazy.
wins.
Do you know who Maglio Ordonez is?
All right, and that just about
Yep,
does it.
there you go. You can't, dude. If you don't know he's like a legend Tiger, then that's it.
What's his name?
Maglio Ordonez.
Maglio
Ordonez.
Ordonez.
Yeah, legendary Tiger.
Wow, this dude is so Cuban.
Yeah, dude. Well, they all are. It's baseball.
Yeah, everybody's fucking
Yeah.
Cuban and Mexican.
Yep.
Nothing against Mexicans. I'm Mexican.
Costa Rican.
Even though Chris may look black,
They're
he's
from
actually
the
Mexican.
they're from the islands. That's where they're from. But yeah, if you don't know
Dude,
him,
what are you? Are you black? Are you Puerto Rican? Are you Mexican?
I don't see color, dude.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
don't. I swear to God,
Okay, so what are you though? That's my question.
I'm a human being.
Oh my god.
That's it, dude.
I'm a human being.
I'm a
Why
human
are you
being
so
that
PC?
enjoys Bud Lights and
Do you know what teams Maglio Ordonez played for?
the White Sox.
Holy shit. How did you know that? Bro, you just blew my mind.
Dude, baseball used to be a big part of my
Okay,
life.
what year
dude.
was he drafted?
That? I don't know. This was
Just take a gander.
no. I was like 10, bro.
Okay, well, if you're even close, I'd commemorate you.
Shit, he was probably drafted like 2002.
Okay, well, you're kind of close, 97.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
not- that's only, what, 4
yeah,
years off?
but remember, back in the day, like if you were drafted in '97, you didn't see the bigs for 4 to 5 years.
That's true.
That's how it used to be. Like you wouldn't play right away.
So what,
You'd
he was
go
a...
through single A, double A, triple A, and then yeah. Like I guarantee you, if you look, he didn't play in the big leagues till like probably in 2000 or after.
No, he played right away.
For who?
The White Sox.
Yeah, but he probably played like 2 games. He probably played a lot of time in AAA or whatever.
He played 21.
Yeah, you see, out of a fucking 182 game season,
And then,
barely played. He played like a 10th of the season.
yeah, and then the next like 5 seasons, 145, 157, 153,
Yeah.
160,
See?
153, 160.
Once they realized,
And then I guess he was
a
hurt
baller.
or something the next 2 seasons because he only played 52 and 82.
Yeah.
And then the next seasons after that with Detroit, it was 155, 157,
Maglio or
146,
Donus
131.
talk. That is crazy.
Dude, we're deep in our bag right now.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Maglio Ordonez.
Yeah. Well, you said Detroit Tigers. So if you named like any baseball team, I could probably name like an old player that like
Okay.
resonates.
The Oakland Athletics,
Um,
even though they're not like the oldest team.
Mark McGuire before he was Mark McGuire, and then Christian Tejada. He was a baller.
Mark McGuire.
Yeah,
Oh, he's a
Mark-
coach now?
Early Mark McGuire, and then Christian Tejada, like I said, and then I want to say Tim. No, No, we'll stay with Christian Tejada. You can go to another team.
Oh, Christian Tejada.
Yeah, shortstop.
Tejada. How do you even? Oh, Tejada.
Yeah, Tejada. Shortstop A's. For a
this
long time.
That's crazy.
Yep. Barry Zito, too, maybe.
There's no Christian Tejada popping up.
Yes, there is, dude. Don't make me fucking Google this.
Oh, I found it.
Yep.
He's 5'9".
Yeah.
This guy was born in 1998.
No, that can't be the same guy. You have to search Christian Tejada A's shortstop.
MLB.
Oh, Miguel Tejada, sorry.
Oh.
There he is. That's him. Real guy.
Real guy.
Yeah, Miguel Tejada, my bad.
Oh, wow. This dude's black.
Well, a lot of them are, dude. I don't know what you want me to say.
Not a lot of them are. That's the thing. Is like they're
well,
all
no,
like,
he's not black. His last name's Tejada. So he's like from some Hispanic
Dominican
country. Yeah.
He's Dominican.
Yeah, he just spent a lot of time in the sun.
He only played 2 years?
No.
Oh, no.
Played a long
Shit.
time.
Never mind. Damn. He played a lot of years.
Yep.
Name
another baseball team.
All right. The Nationals.
No, because they didn't.
No.
They didn't exist before. They used to
When
be
did
the
they come
Expos.
Wait,
Vladimir Guerrero.
Wait, they used to be the what?
I want to say they were the Expos before then. Montreal Expos. I want to say that's correct. Vladimir Guerrero, by the way.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, fire.
Vladimir. Oh shit, he popped up right away.
Yep. Legendary Expo.
The Montreal Expos.
Yeah.
Where's Montreal?
In Canada.
Oh, so they had a Canadian team?
Yeah, they had the Toronto Blue Jays too.
Oh, I forgot the
Roger Clemens.
Wait, the
was
Blue
on that
Jays are
team.
from Toronto?
Yeah, Roger Clemens was on that team. Like that's where he fucking started.
Dude,
out.
this is wild.
Yeah.
I'm baffled. I'm
Keep
flabbergasted.
naming. Let's see how far I can go.
Wait, when did the Nationals become the Nationals?
I don't know. I don't remember. It wasn't that long ago though.
Really?
Yeah, because the national player I can remember the most is Bryce Harper, and that's not even that old. That's pretty recent actually.
I'm trying to go through the years to see when they became the Nationals.
Yeah.
Oh, 2007.
Yeah,
2005.
But I don't know if it was
Dude, that was a
then.
while ago already.
It's because also the Nationals could have been Tampa Bay. No, because they're still there. But there was a team that almost moved a few
Or
times.
isn't Tampa Bay the Rays?
Yeah, they're still there. But like back in the day, like they were always gonna move the Rays, and then they moved the Expos, and then they moved the Blue Jays.
Okay, what about
But the Blue Jays are still there actually.
Yeah. What about the Twins, Minnesota?
No, what's his name?
Dude,
Torrey Hunter.
This is entertaining.
Yeah, Torrey Hunter.
Torrey.
Legendary fucking Minnesota fucking Twin.
Bro, what? How do you know
Center fielder?
these names?
Baller. Yeah, he was.
So he played with the Twins.
Yeah.
He played with the Angels.
Yeah, he played with some other
with the
teams. but-
Tigers, and then he went back to the Twins.
Yeah, his majority of the time was with the Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Twins didn't have a lot of good players.
Dude, how do you know this shit?
Keep
what
going.
the hell?
Keep going.
All right, yeah,
Name
let's
another
keep
team.
going. Let's go with the Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati Reds, Joey Votto
What?
was probably one of their best players. I know not Cal Ripken.
Joey Votto. Wow.
Not Cal
Dude,
Ripken.
you're pulling these names out of my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played his entire career with the Reds.
Yeah. Philip Larkin. Big time Red back in the day. I think it was Philip.
Philip Larkin is a poet.
Larkin Red.
Larkin Red is his name?
No. Larkin Red. Baseball player.
Barry Larkin.
Barry Larkin. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, there he is. Legendary Red too.
Dude, this is mind-boggling.
Okay, next.
Let's go with the Rangers.
I mean, they had so many players back in the day.
Okay, well then let's not go with the Rangers.
Yeah, not the Rangers. Don't go Rangers. Don't go Yankees. Don't
Let's go with
Red
the Mariners.
Sox. Ken Griffey Jr.
Fuck.
Also,
Ken Griffey Jr. Wow. From
Was it-
89 to 2010.
yeah.
Dude, I didn't know you were
Dude,
into
I
baseball like
cannot
this.
remember their shortstop, but their shortstop was legit too. And then John Olerud, first baseman for the Seattle Mariners for a long time. He used to wear.
What about the Colorado Rockies?
Yes, give me a second on them.
I wouldn't even call you a casual if you didn't get this.
No.
You've already named way more.
Dante Bichette, Colorado Rocky. Dante Bichette back in the fucking day.
How do you spell that?
Dante, Danta, and then Bichette, I don't know. But if you put Dante, Colorado Rockies.
Dante Bichette.
Yep. There you go.
Outfielder.
Yep. He was a DH. He was on steroids.
He
Too.
played with the... What team is... Oh.
Damn, I can't remember a single other Colorado
He played with the
Rockies
Angels. Player. He played with...
He played all over the place.
The Brewers.
Dante Bichette. But I remember him the most in Colorado.
Well, his longest tenure was with the Rockies.
Yeah.
You're right with that. Dude, this is whack for me. Like,
anything else?
Yeah, let's go one more.
Okay.
Let's go with the
Well, go until I get stumped.
I want to stump you. Let's
Okay.
go with the you already went White Sox.
Yeah.
Let's go with the Orioles.
Well, White Sox? No, we didn't go White Sox because
Well, technically you did.
Ordonez played for the Tigers first. White Sox would be Frank Thomas,
I'm just going to believe you on that. Let's go with the
And-
Orioles.
Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken.
Yeah, the Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr.
Yep. I see him in an Orioles jersey.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. That's him.
The Royals.
The Royals. That one's tough. Who the fuck was on the Royals?
Come on, you got this.
Damn, that one's tough.
You've already gotten this far.
I know, but
Just name a player. Maybe they would have been
No,
on the Royals.
no. Because the Royals were very bad.
Dude, Cal Ripken?
Yeah.
God, he played from 81 to 01.
He played something like over 1,000 games consecutively, or more than that, like a fuckload. He's the Iron Man.
Jesus
Who was on the Royals, bro? I can see the Royals.
Come on, you got this. I'm going to give you a shot clock. 20 seconds.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm
19,
I'm blanking
18,
completely. No, I'm
17.
not gonna get it.
No?
No, the Royals were tough because they were never very good.
Yeah.
Always bottom of the league.
Well, I stumped you.
Yeah.
They are 4th in the AL Central now.
Yeah, they've always been around. They used to have a swimming pool in their water park.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's
back
still
in
a
the
water
day.
park that has that, no?
Yeah, but like back in the day, a lot of teams fucking would do that.
Yeah. Like in the grass area.
Yeah, let's see. Notable Warrior players or Royal players.
Royals. Warriors? You're still stuck on the Golden State
George
Warriors.
Brett.
You know George Brett?
No, he was like crazy before that. But they really have like nobody on their roster besides him.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know any of these other guys.
Shout out Cal Ripken. We're talking about Cal Ripken. Dude, this episode has completely sidetracked.
Well, I mean, Zach Greinke. Okay, that's one of them. But other than that, nothing. Royals a very poor. Carlos Beltran. Yeah, very poor franchise for a long time. Mike Sweeney. That's the guy I was thinking about. Third baseman. That's about it. That's all I got
Did you make an NBA lineup
for
next game?
I did not.
I
you?
did not. I did not either. I forgot.
Yeah. Well, we shouldn't do that on the fly, should we?
Do you want to? I feel like we're not in the right mindset for it right now.
I feel like whatever picks I give out right now, I'm not going to hit.
Yeah.
So let's
agreed.
not do that.
Let's not do that.
How about that?
We can post it later on social media.
Yeah, we can do like a small little clip,
Yeah.
like tomorrow or something. I don't know.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's enough baseball talk.
I think
If you
that's
hung
enough.
in this far, Jesus Christ, God bless your soul.
Oh my God.
But
I said
thank you,
Cal
though.
Ripken. That's not even a name now.
Yeah, Cal Ripken, bro. That's the Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Dude, I'm so lost.
Barry Zito. I mentioned his name. That's crazy.
Baron Zemo?
Barry Zito. He was a pitcher.
Barry
Kevin
Zito.
Wood.
Are you
Mark
sure?
Pryor.
Are you sure Barry Zito was a player?
Yeah, Barry Zito.
Nothing's coming. Oh, I found him.
Yeah.
A pitcher?
Yep.
For what team?
I want to say the A's, but I feel like he was with the Giants too.
You got both of them right. Damn.
Yeah. He flopped around a lot.
He went with Oakland, Giants,
Edgar
Oakland.
Martinez, Roberto Alomar, Ivan Rodriguez. Who else?
No, keep going.
I'm just naming baseball players, bro.
This is enjoyable. This is
Chuck
good
Knobloch,
TV.
Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Nomar Garcia-Parra,
I know Derek Jeter.
Andre the Cat Galarraga, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Mark Teixeira, Scott Knobloch. I think I already said
Well, I am done with my beverage of choice, and I think that just about wraps up episode 17.
I'm still just wrapping up some baseball names here. Jeff Kent, Craig Bagwell, or Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell, Andy Pettit, Randy Johnson. Who else? Luis Gonzalez.
That just about does it for episode 17. Thank you guys so much
Craig
for listening.
Counsell.
If you did enjoy, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button so you get all the
How many
notifications
players
when we
did I
do
just
post
say?
a brand new video every single week. You can always count on us to do a video. Side note, I'm going out of town in a month, so we might be pre-recording a couple episodes. That'll be after the NBA finals, though, so don't fret. We are going to do maybe some NFL, maybe some ramble, just about whatever, sports talk. Maybe we'll do more baseball talk.
Baseball players again.
But
David Justice.
make sure you guys are following us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Those are the 3 main pages. We upload
Scott Brocious.
we upload shorts and reels and TikToks every single week. At least one a week I try for. And we upload long form videos on YouTube every single week. So thank you guys so much for listening. And we will see you next week. Peace.